Season 4, Episode 8, Invincible. All right, let's get into it. Starting out, Episode 8 wasn't a super fast-paced episode. I mean, Invincible kind of does this where they kind of slow down, especially after big events. They kind of slow down and we go through the characters development more than anything, and we're reacting to what we're seeing is how those characters are feeling in the moment after those big events have taken place. And this episode, I feel like it's no different from any of the other episodes that have done the exact same thing. And what we're dealing with is the aftermath of the war and the potential of the threat of the Viltrumites being on Earth. And as we see when we get back to Earth, it doesn't look like the Viltrumites are here at all. It looks like everything is cool and they just didn't come to Earth. As far as the plot with the Scourge virus, when it was first introduced, I knew that it had to be something that was going to be used eventually down the line, or potentially used, because when they showed us the virus, in my mind I was thinking, okay, so they just could have just told Nolan, hey, I'm the one that caused, all billions of Viltrumites to pretty much all die and the race to almost go extinct. But they showed us the virus, which made me think, okay, this is obviously going to be used for something at some point in time in the series. And we see that in this episode where Thaddeus leaves the virus to Alan, and now it's in Alan's possession. And we don't know how it's going to get used, but somehow, some way, it's going to have to come into play. Whether the coalition finds out about it and then try to pretty much be like, hey, we're going to use this. We don't care that it would kill the Viltrumites and potentially the Earthlings. We're still going to use this because, the only way that we can truly win and be rid of the Viltrumites is to kill all the Viltrumites. So it eventually, like I said, it'll come back into play for sure. All right, let's talk about Mark. Mark is going through it. And you got to understand, you can't even be mad at him, bro, because Thrag was stepping on shit. You know what I'm saying? If we're being totally honest, Thrag was a terrifying opponent. I mean, we saw how strong Thaddeus was. We know how strong Nolan is. And for both of those guys to be taken out so easily by Thrag, Mark totally understood he was outclassed and outmatched, and there was nothing he could do. The only reason he's alive is because Thrag wished it so, otherwise he wouldn't be here, you know what I'm saying? Mark has genuine PTSD and trauma from that experience. With Mark having PTSD, it makes me wonder how season 5 will treat this trauma that he's experienced, and how long will it take for him to get over it? Because obviously, I know he's dealing with a lot, but it's we've seen the show. The bad guys don't stop showing up, so the quicker he's able to deal with this, the better. And I know it's you can't just be all right, I'm going to deal with it and be done with it for 2 weeks. But I do think that he has to kind of, figure some shit out. So with all of that going on with inside of Mark, it kind of makes sense that we get the ending that we get of this episode, which is Mark having to honestly make the impossible decision of whether or not to accept Thrag's terms or say no. Obviously fight Thrag and lose, because let's be real, what would have Mark been able to do? Not only he's already not stronger than Thrag, but he is truly terrified of Thrag. He is scared of what Thrag could do, and he knows that he knows that he can't do anything to the guy. So he kind of had to make an impossible decision, and it makes sense for him to choose what he chose. I can understand why he made the decision he made. Do I think it was the right decision? I don't know. I feel like we're going to find out pretty soon here in the future. Because, again, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know what happens. But think about it. Okay, you say no. You say yes. And then, all right, the Viltrumites are all on the planet, populating the shit out of the planet. Okay? Give it a few more years, now we got hundreds of Viltrumites on Earth. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take long, especially if they're just 37 Viltrumites and they're all just spreading their seed across the planet, yeah, it's not gonna take long for them to for that population to grow. So you're gonna have to deal with them eventually. You can pretend like they're not there or act like everything's okay. It's not. You know what I mean? So, and in the future, it may be too much for you to handle versus at 37 of them now. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know it's like 37 Viltrumites is truly enough to destroy the world. I don't think there's anywhere near enough heroes to be able to stop the Viltrumites. And we're talking about strong, pure-blooded Viltrumites, seasoned veterans. We're not talking about marks from a different realities or whatever. We're talking about Viltrumites who are all working together for a common goal. Regent Thrag is there, so it's like they're gonna do what he tells them. They're gonna do whatever he says do. So it's like, yeah, I mean, Nolan them left, and it's like, man, even if Nolan came back, what are you gonna do? So I can understand why he made the decision. I just don't know if that decision will. I don't know if that decision would have been the best decision for the potential future. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I think none of us, I think all of us at this point knows that it's up for the relationship with Nolan and Debbie. Like, we all know at this point, they're definitely going to get back together. Like, she broke up with Paul months ago. She with Nolan in space. He's the only thing that she knows up there, you know what I mean? So they're going to obviously be interacting. He's going to be obviously keeping her safe, and pretty sure it takes a while before they actually get to Telestria where Oliver is. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's up. We kind of all figure that. From my understanding, if they're in the comics, she was fairly easy to forgive him, like I said earlier. But yeah, I do like the route they're taking because it's more realistic. Like, you could tell, like, Debbie's still low-key. She's still low-key love, bro. You know what I'm saying? However, like, she can't just let him back in so easily. You know what I mean? Like, he got to low-key work for it, because what he did was wild. You know what I'm saying? But I also really enjoy Debbie's character development, too. She's having a real human experience. And, yeah, I think I really can't wait for next season to see, how their relationship starts to develop. Side note, speaking on Debbie and Nolan, we gotta talk about my boy. My boy deserves a little bit better, dog. My dog, Paul Wall, Big Paul energy. You know what I'm saying? Paul. I mean, like, if we're being real, bro, like, I mean, Debbie's lifestyle, like she said, their lifestyle is completely different. Like, Paul, in comparison to everything that Debbie is used to dealing with, is, man, to say that it's just way slower paced is an understatement. Like, she's dealing with superheroes, you know what I mean? Like, she's used to flying to different countries, and, you know what I mean? She's used to dealing with, world-ending threats and stuff. Like, even if she's not on the battlefield herself dealing with these things, she's, like, in close proximity because of Nolan, because of Mark. She's used to dealing with, people like government officials like Cecil, and that's her normal life. And I feel like Paul was a lot slower. And Ark said it was good, and I can understand that, but, like, I don't know, man. Like, if that's what she's used to her whole life, and then just to, say, all right, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't know if I just couldn't see it. Like, even Oliver, I think Oliver's like, what, 2-3 years old. I don't know, but he was like, yo, Paul was boring. You know what I mean? And man, I just couldn't see it working. I didn't see it working out from the jump. I actually thought they was gonna do Paul dirty, like, saying, like, take him out, but for them to just end things, what I'm saying, and still be friends, I really think that's like the best outcome of the whole thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out my boy Paul. I mean, he still got to, never mind. Shout out my boy Paul. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many people can say they hit Omni-Man's wife and survived? Hey, bro, I'm just saying, like, I'm him, bro. I hit Omni-Man's. I'm him, dog. You know what I'm saying? You see he ain't said nothing because he know not. I'm real, dog. He knew not to step up, bro. He knew what I was about. I said, hey, bro, that's your shorty? Nah, son, that's my shorty. And that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? That's what you said. That's what I said, bro. You see I'm still standing here, don't you? Big Paul. Put a capital P on my name. Switching gears a little bit and talking about Nolan. Man, I am really enjoying this Nolan having to sit with everything that he's done, and people around him are not forgiving him like so easily. Like he really has to work for it. Like Debbie she is not going easy on bro. She is making bro work for it. Bro sweating when you're around her. You see what happened when she came outside? Oh, Debbie. I know that I was just leaving. I was even I was just leaving. I wasn't there. No, man, they making Nolan work for it, and like I really appreciate that. I haven't read the comics, but from what I heard in the comics, like Debbie got over it fairly quickly. You know what I mean? That's just what I've heard, and like she was more of a side character than anything else. But here they have really like I feel like are fleshing her character out and like making her really important to the show, you know what I mean? And especially for Nolan and his growth and his journey of redemption. Another thing that I liked this episode was when we finally got an interaction with Nolan and Cecil after, man, I don't think they've interacted since season 1. We finally got these two together to have a conversation, and I was wondering what would that conversation be like if they finally were able to actually sit down and talk. The fact that we could still see Nolan getting irritated and like then having to like bring it back, it's almost like their Viltrumite sides come out like, bro, I'm about to put these. You know what? Let me chill. I'm bug. I'm about to No, you know what? You right. That's on Big N over here. That's on Big N. You know what I'm saying? And like even crazier was the fact that Nolan listened to Cecil. Cecil low key was, you know what I'm saying, like really getting in his ass, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Cecil was really getting on him like, oh, word? Oh, so y'all didn't actually go down there and do nothing but all right, cool. No, say less. Told bro, hey, look, if they pull up, when they pull up, you better be here. But until then, I don't want to see you. I don't want to kick it with you. I don't want to skate with you. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was kind of like, all right, Cecil. You know what I'm saying? Like and then the fact that Nolan was just like, yeah. I was like, what? Do I make myself clear? Yeah. And I was like, all right, bro. All right, Big Cease. Yeah, you tough now, but you're really lucky Mark got PTSD, because if he didn't, he would remember that, hey, Conquest wasn't dead. No, but all seriousness, seeing Nolan constantly struggling to trying to better himself, even now, and still having trouble with it, I feel like it's human. You have your good days and you have your bad days. Some people come around and, fairly quickly, and some people, they don't. Debbie has to come around. Cecil, obviously, it's like, he don't, you know what I'm saying? He don't really mess with Nolan, but he also understands the importance of having Nolan around. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think he might be, things might be better for him and Oliver at this point, but he's going through that real experience, and I really enjoy that about this show. And eventually I will make a video just solely on that, and also a video on Debbie. I might put both of those videos together. But yeah. Yo, speaking of Viltrumite, shout out my boy Lucan. My boy Lucan, he a dog for real. Look, now I ain't gonna hold you. He do be getting his ass beat sometimes, but he don't be dying though, bro. Lucan has been. Lucan was the third Viltrumite, or the first Viltrumite that we saw. Yeah, Lucan was the first Viltrumite. Him and I forgot that Cthulhu, whatever her name is. Lucan was the first Viltrumite we saw besides Mark and Nolan. So, and that was what, season 2? Shout out my boy Lucan, man. That boy be living. He be surviving, bruh. That boy a dog. Can't kill him. Big Luke. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Luke and Luke can be online talking this shit. I done seen him. We just seen Luke online. I seen him on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? He getting it off. He getting it off his chest, and deservedly so. That boy a dog. That boy big dog. Ain't no little pups over here. Hey, he do need to stay off the phone though, man. I saw Grand Region online saying your boy need to get up off the phone. 10-minute timeout. That's what he need. The Viltrumites sometimes surprise me because of their reaction and the way they make decisions. Because at times it seems like they're like Saiyan warriors, just dumb, brute. I'm gonna, destroy you, destroy your planet, take you out, and that's it. And I don't care about anything else. I'm not thinking about anything else but destruction. And then they do things like what they did here, which is go to Earth and assimilate to the culture and of the world, and without killing anybody, which kind of threw me for a loop a little bit because it felt like, man, they're gonna definitely come here and try to take over the planet if they do show up. But they're like, no, we're gonna, we're gonna blend in. We're gonna blend in and we're gonna repopulate. Which, at some point, it felt that Thrag was way too prideful for that. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh man, the only way that he's gonna do this is by just totally world domination, take over the planet, nothing else in between. So the fact that he decided to say, hey, we're just gonna assimilate to the culture. We're going to wear their clothes. We're going to walk like them, talk like them, dress like them. No destruction. We're not going to aid anybody. We're not going to hurt anybody. We're just going to be here, though. Was so surprising, which, to me, that made Thrag's character evolve a little bit more. You know what I mean? Than just a brute, scary, world-conquering, universe-conquering tyrant, right? And that actually made me want to see his character more, like see what else he has in store for his character arc. Not even like necessarily like him fighting. I just want to see and learn more about him as a character. So these are the questions that I have for you all. Put it down in the comments below. Do you think Eve was wrong for making the decision to have the abortion? Do you think that Mark made the right decision in accepting Thrag's terms? And what do you think will happen once the coalition finds out about the Scourge virus? Put it down in the comments below and start a conversation. But overall, great season finale. I love the episode. I love the character development. I think, season 5 can't get here quick enough. But yeah, that's it for me. Any comments, put them down below. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.